Reality is just we can do through our sharing, because I know that considering your age, experience in this thing, marketing I cannot say I cannot deliver marketing things as I do it in the classroom. Okay, so because in classroom our audience is just 20-22 years old students actually. So, but I would like to share something as far as marketing is concerned. Okay, and perhaps that may be useful. And in the last meeting, I have given a standing invitation to all those who want to share something or discuss something about their some finance part of the thing that I have already told you in the last one. So coming with this, basically I would like to tell you that, and this has become a common sense because we see on advertisements in our sales promotion that you get one buy one of that kind of thing. So it's our common day-to-day experience that how people go for marketing. But certain things are definitely relevant. Okay, and those relevant things are basically first thing is that the approach. So the approach is definitely something different. Okay, and the difference is I think let us reinforce our ideas again and get some ideas from this in your own products also, right? So basically, this is a selling approach where we have the mindset that whatever I make, the customer should buy. Okay, whatever I make, the customer should buy. Suppose if I make this pen, then I say that okay, you buy this pen. But what customer wants actually, whether he really wants red or blue or black or something, that if we understand and make our entire processes, business processes in line with the customer's requirement, then the things become very different. Okay, so that is something. Marketing is the approach where you come from customer to your product or service. Whereas here, you say that services and products are available, customer should adjust to them. Okay, so nowadays, earlier before globalization, the companies, whether small or big, the whole approach was that they are not insisting on so much doing marketing research. Nowadays, a lot of emphasis is given on marketing research, where they put this into. Okay, for example, we use WhatsApp and this thing, all those things. The data is collected by marketing intelligence department of different companies, and they prepare your profile. That we are not aware of this particular, but as far as their CRM is concerned, marketing intelligence functions are concerned. Whoever uses any email or anything, and whatever on WhatsApp you say, what are your reactions or something, whatever you give response to WhatsApp, everything is classified. And now the IBM concept is coming, that is something a global, most connected planet. That is something where 90% connectivity will be there. So this is something a very broad kind of view of the world they are taking. They are going after that 90% connectivity. Means whatever you do, your age, your liking, your dislikes, etc., that will be captured through these messages and all these things. So this is something the marketing intelligence people are doing. So this customer orientation is customer centric. So these are the words, but they can be actualized. They can be practiced. A very simple example is that I can give you that we know our kitchen order, and without spending much on that. What I mean is that just looking from this angle, how we can change the thing, or how we can make the decisions, or how can we see the convenience of the customer. For example, the kadap, that stone which is bought for this particular kitchen kota is from the famous place Kadap, and that is why it is called as kadap, right? So woodland hotels are there. So normally what happens, the big builders, that is those who are buying it in larger quantities, they don't buy it from a local source. What do? They go to Kadapa, book the order, and ask them to deliver to their place. So then definitely when you buy from the original source, you get some discounts, or you get some pricing advantages you get, also quality advantages you get. Then you get the credit also. So it is one-to-one reaction makes the difference. If you buy from a local dealer, then perhaps you may not be so much interested in buying it. selling it is so intensely as the source will be interested to sell. So that is something. So what happens is that many people, you have to reach Kadapa at around 9 or 10. Okay. And Kadapa is at a distance something say 30-40 kilometers or 25 or 30 kilometers from Bangalore. So many people, they stay at Bangalore, okay, and go to Kadapa, say at around 10 o'clock. So they have to start at 6 o'clock in morning. Okay, early morning they have to get ready and proceed to Kadapa. So what happens is that the Woodland was the hotel, first hotel. They have on the way there is another woodland. So this woodland is in Bangalore and another woodland is in on the way. Okay, say 5 to 10 kilometers from Kadapa also. So generally these big hotels have a facility or kind of an offering that they give you breakfast on the house. You don't have to pay for the breakfast. Okay. But what happens that when at 6 o'clock, it's difficult to give them that service. In the morning at 6 o'clock, to prepare the whole breakfast was something a bit difficult task. So what do? They give the coupons where on the way when they reach that Woodland Hotel at particular on the way to Kadapa, they can have free breakfast over there. Such a small arrangement. What I mean that it's not something costly to the company also, then not costly to the customer also, and their promise is also observed. That is, whatever they have promised that you will get your breakfast on the house. So this is something what I mean by approach. That is something if you take this approach for your customers without spending much or perhaps many times not spending at all, you can see the convenience of the customer, and this is something what I mean by marketing approach. So this approach is something which is very different. That is because we have been grown up in India in a saving kind of saving kind of environment. That is whatever we have, and then we say that okay, you buy this, or many times we say that this is something. And Japanese are very professional in this matter. That is something, their marketing intelligence is fantastic. Okay, so this is now, for example, Microsoft has promised that they are going to have a security center in India. So it is in their interest also. Okay, and it is in Indian interest also. They are guarding the Indian interest also. So if you can create this kind of a win-win situation, okay, then perhaps that may boost up your business. That may boost up your business. So small things do matter. Okay, and these small things many times remain unattended because of the approach, the attitude, because of the tendency what we have, and because of competition now we are on our toes, right? So this is something which differentiates your product also, right? That is something whenever I buy something, and now if you see the trend of the people nowadays, even if I want to buy a mobile, what do? I go for a lot of searching and I make a lot of searches, then product comparison. And particularly we have to remember that we are going to deal with who are our customers shall be sustainable customers, say for a long time whom we can going to serve is something 20 to 50. Okay. So we should have in front of us that what this 20 to 50 group will require. So that is whatever may be the product, whatever may be the services, right? So this is something, if I have a financial services or if I am a LIC agent or something, then I should focus on this group only, right? Okay. So this is something what we want. Now for example, there are schemes which are for the pensions, okay, LIC schemes. But if I take such 10 policies instead of that, if I focus and catch the young guys, then I think I can have it. Okay. Now for example, insurance, you will find the difference. Earlier, if I want to have a vehicle insurance, now it is done on the spot itself. Okay, you bring the camera, you bring the machine on which credit card can be swapped or something. So this is a key difference. That is something, the difference we have to understand and match with that difference. Okay. That is now, for example, if any payment is to be received, if you go to the customer's place, so instead of having a check, you can take the machine with you where you can swap the credit. Okay, so you are going closer to the customer. See, this is something now that this particular practice are followed by the insurance agents. So this sense has to get developed. And once you get that developed, okay, then naturally what happens? Your creativity gets triggered. And once that creativity gets triggered, then you come with different ideas. So that is why what I see is that there is something, this marketing approach as such has to get internalized. That is our thought process must think like this, that what should be the marketing approach, what will be the characteristics to my product process which I can say give. Okay. So this is something what we want. Right? So this approach, and I know that particularly the age group in which you are, okay, it's difficult because what we say is that we are not groomed like that. Okay. And the controversy is like this, that on the one hand we see and experience this kind of thing, marketing, but at the same time there is selling approach which also we experience. For example, now Uday is milk. Okay, so he forcibly, even Uday is alone, Mamta has gone to say Kalyani Nagar, he forces him to buy 3 liters of milk. Okay, and Uday has a question what to do with that. So this is a typical selling approach. Okay, but that also, that is what I mean is that both coexist. Okay, it's not like that all have become one day overnight marketing people. It's not like that. It is selling approach also exists. Selling also approach, why it exists? Because with minimum efforts, minimum inconvenience to oneself, one can do the business. Now there are other factors that are okay, fine. Because there are in Pune, few restaurants are like that. My friend's restaurant is there. What is this approach? That I make, it's very famous. Even somebody come from US and who was brought up in Pune. Okay, so during childhood, he has enjoyed his batate vada. That is Prabha Vishranti Gro karke naam hai uska. So that person likes to come and visit that Prabha. Okay, but what is his stance? His stance is like this, that I make 300 vadas. Okay, and when they are sold, okay, I put my shutter down. Fine. So this is a typical selling approach what people are showing even when the marketing approach is getting developed. Okay, now what are he has some limitations, because for making that he requires some expert people or skilled people which are not available nowadays. So he has adjusted himself with the market like this. So this is something the approach what we take. But there is always scope for marketing approach, and that has to be. So this is something in your product. You can sit yourself and think about the product and go into the customer's shoes and see that what can you do better for it. And this is required for the competition, because you see in 1980, 1990, nobody was talking about the quality. Now industries are talking about ISO and this and that and quality and all these things. So people have become suddenly very sensitive because of the competition. So the high pressure of competition, if somebody wants to face, then he has to improve his product. And he must have an answer. What I mean that suppose if I am say running coaching classes here, say for accountancy or because that is my background. So if I do like that, then I have to think myself that there are many coaching classes who are giving you the say lessons of accounting or finance. Then what different I am doing? So that is something I have to ask. That customer is asking me that tell me some good reasons for buying your product. And these good reasons are nothing but are your selling points. Okay, these good reasons are your selling points. So you should be able to maximize the selling points for which you should buy them. Okay, how it happens that I can explain you one example of my student. He passed out MBA and went to one advertising firm. He got placed there. In the first week itself, okay, he was called by the client. Client is called as an account in advertising business. Okay, in advertising business, instead of calling the client, they call it in their terminology as account. So he has gone to a big account. Okay, and that student has got a good marketing say approach or something like that. And that was a good ticket set. That means the business was of a good amount. Okay, and it was just his second or third day when he went there. So when he went there, that fellow fired him like that. It was a very top authority and they were giving something in lakhs of business to them. And that fellow first day, this thing when he met him, then he fired him. Because there are a lot of schedules were delayed Then a lot of services, there is a shortcoming of the services of that particular advertising company to that account of that customer. And he was furious about it and he fired him like that. Then he told him that, okay fine, you give me a week and I will streamline everything and then I will again approach you or something like that. This is quite common, that is something he has to say like that because he was not doing anything. Then he studied, analyzed that where the things have gone wrong, where we have not given the service to them. This is all he listed and one by one he sorted it out. After 10 days, again he told that he took the appointment of that person. And that person very reluctantly said, okay, you come. Whenever I will have time, I will meet you. You will have to wait. He said, okay. We went there in the morning at 10 o'clock. Waited till afternoon 3 o'clock. Okay. See his patience, that is something. He waited there up to 3 o'clock. And then that director called him. He called him and again he said that I have streamlined this, that. But he said, okay, because I have a very bitter experience of yours and it has impacted my business, it has harmed my business and you people have really put me in trouble and all this. So he said, no sir, we will give you good service and all this thing. Typically it gave him a sales talk. But then he said, no, but I have decided. Not to do this thing, not to give you business, we will discontinue. So despite doing all these things for 10 days, so much efforts to streamline the business and grievances of that customer, they ultimately got the answer that we want to discontinue. Okay. Then he said, okay, you think over once. And then that director asked him, that is, okay, if you answer me the question properly, then I think perhaps to continue it. And then he asked him that, so what for, that is, what best you have, that is, what you are at best, so I should continue this. You tell me the reason, that is, where you are best, so I should continue. Then that student had a very good presence of mind. And then he said that, sir, we are best at telling the people where you are best. Okay, I am best at where you are best, that we can tell the people very effectively. So this is something the marketing approach teaches you. Okay. So despite so much of resistance, okay, he got the business back. Another example was there, that is the SCL HP company is there. My friend is there, and now he's not with that company. He started his own this thing. He's marketing CAD/CAM software. His name is Kamalbaug. So once what happened in Nashik, there was a competition because he was supplying from HP side certain computer related products, hardware and this. So the order was finalized and that company was Siemens and it was again a huge order and that order was given to his competitor and when he understood it in the evening, okay, then he said, okay, you continue with that order but you give me 10 minutes to explain that my products have selling points actually, okay. That is, you have taken the decision where I am not fully informed. Okay, so you should get the full information of my product and then you continue. I don't say that you give me the order. I have nothing to say, but give me only 15 minutes. Okay. Then in the evening, he sat, prepared his presentation, went there, got 15 minutes. That meeting continued up to 2 o'clock and when he came back, okay, the order was in his hand. So this is something the power of marketing or selling, I would say, but the approach should be the marketing approach. That is something in a broader sense. That is what we can call it as a syndrome, which we call as this is something what we call as a frog whale syndrome. Okay. Because suppose this is a frog, the frog can see up to this. Okay, not beyond this. And there is another syndrome which is called as the blue ball syndrome, where this is earth and this is moon. And if you look at from moon to earth, being there is 3/4 of water, it looks like a blue ball. Okay, so this is something what we call it that our mindset has to be transformed or transferred from this frog whale syndrome to this thing. And then you will see a lot of business opportunities. When your mindset will be transferred to this kind of a phenomenon, then definitely you will see a lot of business. Okay. So that is something the beauty, or that is the magic, or I would say the power of marketing approach. So I hope that now you must have got the idea about the marketing approach, how I see it, or how I have experienced it. Okay. So in your products also you can think of it. Okay. Then second thing is that many times this is done when another important thing is that we have to sit and decide, or rather we have to understand our own product. In what way? This is a typical exercise which is normally done after the product fails. Okay, many times I have seen that this happens when the product fails. Please remember. So far things are getting good. Okay, so far things are getting good. Then you have no problem. You never think of the product or service or something like that. When things are going well, then you are happy. You don't bother for product analysis or something. But necessarily, I think that you should have a product analysis. And that product analysis is something that is such a kind of a, say, what we can say as you can have a quadrant like this. So in your product, there are three type of features which are, we can call it as a core product. It may be a service or this thing. So core product. Then here is a tangible product. Then here is intangible product. So Mr. Das, I think we can give the exercise. Can we, if you allow me, we can go for the exercise of doing the product analysis of your service. Would you like to participate in that?
Yeah.
Fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's your service or product is a school, right? Okay. Fine. So, core product is that what standard it is?
It's a
what standard?
pre-primary.
Pre-primary. Okay. So, pre-primary is the core product. So, there are many schools which are pre-primary schools. And what is their, say, what core product will be? Because in a car, suppose if you take a car, then transferring goods or passengers from one place to a distant place. This can be defined as a core product. Then let it be Mercedes, let it be, say, Wagoner. The core product is same, right? So in your product, in case, the core product is something that to give them primary level training or education, right? And again, going into that, I would say it is a process of some kind of a skill development, right? So I'm not criticizing that your school is good, bad or something, but let us just list down that what are your tangible products, that is which can be seen. So perhaps your physical infrastructure, perhaps the water arrangement, perhaps some houses will be there. So this is something, what we can say is that infrastructure, then say water arrangement or rooms, etc. That can be the tangible product. Then what are your intangible part of the product?
Most of the things are service oriented,
So perhaps it may be that you have got good teachers. Okay. That is, that teaching is not seen, the teacher is seen, right? But good teachers are there, that can be intangible product. Then perhaps you may be giving 3 installments, okay, for paying the fees. So in fees part you can have intangible product, okay. Then something you may be doing some intangible part of that. So this is something the way product is analyzed. In nutshell, what I mean is that
the relationship, intangible relationship among the
relationship, right? So relationship is something very much intangible, right? But in relationship also, that is something, there are some, say, activities which are some actions, some responses, some reactions, some activities which make this relationship strong, weak or something like that. Okay. The way you receive them or something. So this is something what I would say that is a service. Okay. So this part being core is very common, everybody offers. Tangible, okay, almost all schools are common, are at par with other schools. So this is something which will give you the differentiating muscle. And basically, being it is a service, you need to tangibilize the service. So in tangibilization of service, okay, if you think in that way, then you can tangibilize it more. Okay, for example, if you see that my car is getting serviced, okay, now it is in the hospitals also. If my operation is going on, I can see that operation on the TV itself, on the screen itself. So that is something what we mean by tangibilization of service. So services are concerned, then tangibilization is very important. You have to tangibilize. For example, progress card. So progress card is a tangibilization of the service. Okay, or if you give something, so use some say software by which the parents will understand the progress, or parent will understand how the child is inside the school. This kind of tangibilization is necessary. So I am very sure that if you do this exercise yourself, you will come out with definitely with 3 different ideas. Okay, you will think over that, and 3 different ideas will definitely come. That whatever tangibilization core now you have, it will increase to this. These those 3 ideas. Okay, but only thing that you have to sit, discuss with other teachers and everything, that how we can more tangibilize the service. That is certainly possible. Okay, so that is something. So even in a service, you need to tangibilize. Right? Now the third thing, that intermediaries are there, and those intermediaries are something depend, that is they decide many a times that you have to have your product sold or not. Okay. For example, you must have intermediaries in between, although you lose it, but they have their place. The third case I would say that there was a company, there was a person who came out with the idea that in textile mills or in engineering processes, there are some coolants which are used. Okay, those coolants are for keeping the machine cool. Okay, keeping the environment, because these coolants, if you use for a longer time, then it gives you a bad smell. That is one reason. Because the dust parts get into the coolant. The coolant is always moving rotatingly, and that is something, those coolants become hot, keeps the machines cool. So one person came and he said that this is something was costing something 30,000 rupees. Okay, that is once you have to replace it, the cost was 30,000 rupees. And I think in a quarterly they have to replace this 30,000 rupees this year. In a year, 4,000. So yearly amount was 1,20,000. A person came and he came with a fantastic idea that I have prepared some material, okay, which is like a coolant, and that was something additive. That product was additive. If you use that additive and use these coolants along with additive, then you need not change it yearly. You can change it 6 months. That means they have to spend only 60,000, and additive is costing you 10,000 addition. So total cost is 70,000. Saving is 50,000. So this was something, the idea came. The fellow went to this thing, and surprisingly that product didn't catch up at all. The very reason was that he cannot go to every company. Okay, he has to manufacture that additive also. So the margin over these coolants, okay, was a bigger loss. That is the saving, that is 60,000 rupees coolant was not purchased by if they use the additive. So what happened is that the agencies, that is intermediaries, retailers and all those, they didn't support it because they were losing on this particular commission which they were getting from the coolant. So this part he never thought of, and that is something what made the product fail. So that is also essential. That is, you have to think of the channels also. That is something. So in marketing, channels are very important. That is, channels interest if you guide, then something that you can get a good business. So this is something what I wanted to share with you as a part of marketing.
Yeah.
So now we think of it. But what I would like to recommend you is that you do this product analysis, okay, and think of the marketing approach and what we can develop for our own products. And as I told you that in the beginning when the things are getting well, okay, if everything is going well, then nobody bothers for all these things. But when you start getting the pinches of the competition, then you need to think of it. So instead of thinking reactively, one can think it proactively. That is something the point I would say. Okay, there are many other things which can be talked about. Another thing is that the segment, but I think for you is that your common sense actually. Okay, there are many things I can tell you, but considering your age group and all these things, you must have already thought of all these things. But I think I tried to formalize it by putting it on a board. That is something. But you must have thought of it because you are doing all those things. But small things you discussed. Okay, or if you revisit your thoughts again with this particular inputs, okay, or with this particular push, I would say, it is going to make a big difference. That is something I have found. That's why I just shared all these things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.